That's the movie. There was never a song called Up Close and Personal.
No, but Celine Dion sang it. Did you see?
I know.
Did you see Celine Dion at the Billboard Awards?
I have yet to watch it, and I'm upset at myself because I kept trying. No, listen. I kept trying to find. Listen, I kept trying to find the actual video, and I could not find it. And it wouldn't load on my fucking phone.
First of all, you don't need to watch it on your phone. You need to watch it on your computer.
I'm just shocked that I just defended myself about not watching the Celine Dion.
You know what? It was amazing. The dress was beautiful. Her son is getting kind of cute. Rene Angeli. He's getting hot.
Okay, the son is like
that
14.
That bird smelled like Porky Pig's asshole. I mean, it was like wee wee. But
I burped.
I actually knew the voice of Porky Pig. Very nice man. I do.
You said that before, and it's ridiculous.
I love
it's still ridiculous.
Bob Bergen, beautiful man.
Should we just start the show?
All right, we've got a lot.
It's 4:30 in the a.m.
We're doing a late show on Friday, and that's my fault.
And we're doing a late show the next day
because someone got to go to the Wonder Woman premiere last night.
So he cares about Wonder Woman more than our viewers. Everybody aware of that?
Sorry, I fucking do. I do care about Wonder Woman.
You know
more.
what? I make as much time as I can for our viewers.
As my friend put on my Facebook page when I squealed about this, he said, "This really was your white whale." And it was.
Where does the white whale come from?
I'm kidding. Moby Dick.
Oh, you do know.
I do know Moby Dick. We went and saw the opera together. Didn't I go see that with you?
No, that was Billy Budd.
But I saw Moby Dick as well. It was great.
You didn't see that with me.
Who did I see it with?
Some other queen.
Some other queen. I enjoyed it.
So, welcome to TBT time. We're going to stop this because we're just dropping everybody.
Anyway, so we're sorry we're a day late, but we're not sorry.
We apologize. I apologize for this one.
You know what? I didn't know.
Let's go.
We only had one more episode.
I know it's a lot. And I'm going to stall while you go to our comments.
Why don't you?
Which is what I always have to do.
Why don't you tell everybody how tired you are? Well, I do this.
You know what? Can you sing a spiritual while I feel sorry for myself?
When I go down to the river to pray.
That's not a good spiritual. Stop.
It's not a good spiritual.
I want to talk about.
Just as
that's a weird Billy Graham crusade. No, stop it.
I'm Catholic. I don't know those songs.
I want to talk about.
Did you grow up singing those?
No. I want to talk about how we only have one more episode left. And so we were kind of shocked. Go to the comments, you bitch.
Sensation.
We were kind of shocked by how few we had of this. And this episode did not disappoint. So, in fact, I think I talked about last week's episode being my favorite, but I think this one's my favorite.
No, this was definitely my favorite.
Yep.
We have several comments.
We have a certain person who's been reading us a lot lately, and I am living for it.
I kind of respect her or him. I don't know.
Who knows?
Their name is Jade Z. Jade Z.
She's gender fluid.
And Jade Z says...
Jade City.
Jade Z.
Jade Z, sorry.
Yeah, Jade Z says...
not Jay-Z.
You know what? It's a lot to unpack. Okay, so they say... Jade says, I hope you guys can take a bit of criticism. You know what I love
Bring it on. Bring it on. Hit me with it.
You need to get right to the review and save your comments for that. Going back and forth with each other will become funnier after you get viewers. I will even tell you why, because no one knows you and is interested in you yet.
Ooh! You know what?
Oh, wait, there's more.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
But people will watch you if you're funny and insightful about people they do watch. Johnny Carson didn't spend his whole time talking to Ed.
Honey, you're over 50 because there's
nobody
way.
would make a Johnny Carson.
No.
You know what? You're going to leave these type of comments for little 20-year-old queens when you're 50.
You know what?
You have
if you get to the review, I'm not making fun of you, Jade Z. Even though I kind of enjoy the confrontational nature because I can take it. I love it.
No,
deal it out because I suck it up and I get stronger from it.
I can't argue with the Jade Z. We get off on topic.
But it's really the only way we know how to do a show.
The only way we know how to do it.
So because with this one, I can barely keep him on topic. It's like a retarded cow trying to steer him around the pasture.
And this one is so pretty much either drunk or tired all the time. I'm on how he said amp him up with coffee or fucking sugar.
I'm basically on uppers
It's Judy
all the
Garland
time.
right now.
I know.
Y'all don't get it, but literally after the show, he just crashes and starts drooling. I have to carry him to bed sometimes, and he calls
You
me
don't
Mammy.
know what it's like.
I'm telling you.
You don't know what it's like. All right, we're getting off topic. Sorry,
You know what?
JC, again.
It's true. You are going to write on YouTubers' comics in 30 years and say you have a vocal fry. That's what you're going to write.
That's so fucking upsetting. I'm glad neither of us have vocal fries, except right now when I'm talking like that.
Okay. We also...
I want to read one.
Um,
Just tell me what to read. I don't have time to check
see,
what it is.
from last week's episode, you can read Groovy Gadget's comments.
Oh, I love it. Groovy Gadget says, I'm gay because when I was 4, I sneezed and no one said bless you, and the devil entered my body, and maybe that sassy bitch I am today. You know what? Bless that devil.
Bless that devil.
Because you
Groovy
know
Gadget.
what? You got something.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to use that.
I love
The devil entered your body.
And someone just said, beloved progeny.
The devil
said,
entered my body a couple nights ago.
I'm sorry.
He
Jade.
told me he was the devil.
I'm so sorry, Jade. I agree with you. This other person, beloved progeny, just said, well, hey, these queens are funny.
Thanks, beloved progeny.
An AF guy.
So now we're just reading all the comments.
Yeah, we're going to read all of them. We're
All
almost
right.
at the end. You know, AF guy last week that would comment, and he had a good comment, and then we said he's probably hot because he's something. We didn't know if AF stood for as fuck. You don't remember any of this, do you?
No.
It's the medication. It's the medication. I'm not going to go back and read his old comment. You need to remember these things.
Just read it.
Anyway, he says AF stands for Air Force.
Ooh, military.
We have a military man watching us.
Wait, that's the French national anthem. Never mind. What is that?
Top Gun.
Oh, Top Guns aren't military. That's Air Force. Or he's
just said.
Oh wait, the Air Force is part of the military.
Okay. I think we need to move on to a few more comments.
We're just gonna read all of them because we got a lot this time.
We don't have,
and we want
we
to talk
have
about
two
it.
more, and they're both from Jade Z.
I love it how you have to pause it every time.
Well, keep talking. So,
Jade Z, we're doing a special commenter edition of T for two, T for you, Jade Z.
T for you, Jade Z.
You.
So Jade Z says about our interview with Justin.
Thank you.
We get Justin has insecurities. We all do, and we can relate. But no one wants to be around someone who all they do is remind you of them. This bitch is shady.
You know what? I kind of want to spend an hour in a room with you.
Are you
and go back and forth?
Are you commenting on our videos in our sleep? Like, are you taking Ativan and instead of like,
and I'm just making up a name and going, "What is this fucking shit?"
and not even remember.
Like I don't even remember that I did it.
Oh, this is from John Matthews. Here, you can read this comment.
John Matthews, I like it how you say, "Here, you can read this like I'm a toddler." If I were shipwrecked on an island, there would be no better person to be with than Mattie. This is definitely written by Mattie.
No, I didn't.
So funny and honest, just perfect. Speaking of that, John Matthews is Maddie's last and middle name.
No, my middle name is Steven.
Yeah.
I swear to Judy, I didn't write that. Thank
Right.
you, John. That's so funny that you got to read that too. That was sweet. How did
You just set me up to read you a jerk off comment.
You did. Okay, we have one. I'll let you read.
You know what? You're only there because I'm ballasting you. I'm like the wind beneath your wings.
You are. I agree with that.
That was a sweet moment, by the way.
It was. I know, and I took it. Like you took it many a time. Okay, I'm going to let you read the last comment from JD.
Right.
Don't read the other ones. They're old, but read the top one from Jade Z.
Jade Z says...
This is from, by the way, our first episode of Fire Island, episode 1, but I feel like it's worth reading. I think it's worth reading.
Okay, Jade Z has been retroactively leaving comments.
Yes.
And
if you
he
remember,
says,
Sophie was
"What
in
do you mean that dog has dementia?" Talking about his dog. Did she tell you that? Did she tell you that?
Because Sophie, my dog, was in that episode, y'all.
Because Sophie has been diagnosed with dementia by a vet.
A medical doctor or
Well,
a veterinarian who's really hot told me she has.
I just love the fact that
Did she tell you that?
You know what, JC? Let's interview you.
JC, I bet you make.
I want to know who you are.
I know,
and I could learn something from you.
I bet he makes like Dolly Parton dolls in his house, and they're beautiful. I bet you have a craft.
Are you a pageant coach?
Yes.
Because we've been talking about doing that for children.
Oh, I would love to do that.
Not that it sounds creepy, but
And that's how we end. T for you, JC.
I want to work with children.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And I want to work. Okay. Well,
let's get into the show. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about this episode.
Talk about.
We're just jumping in, and for my first teabag, I just want to say
I'm Mattie, by the way. This is Jake. We never really did that.
It's not. This is
too
late.
If you don't know who we are now,
it's too late.
Fuck off.
I'm Jake, aka Poodle.
No, I'm kidding. I love you.
Anyway, I'm to the point, and this is controversial.
Okay.
Which is, I say that every time, and it's really not.
It feels like it's 4 a.m.
I said it's 4:30 in the a.m. I'm starting to agree with Cheyenne in almost everything he says. And
80%.
I'm with him, and I love his no bullshit, and I have taken a complete... Well, actually, you were more anti-him.
And I apologize to Cheyenne last week.
I'm like 180 on him, and he's my favorite now.
He's not
he's my favorite.
He's not my favorite.
He's my favorite in this reality segment. Yeah. Anyway, because I love how he's just telling it as it is.
But I like him.
And
I love him now, actually.
And I will say, this episode did start with another Kassan choreography with ba, 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 ba. You hit.
It did.
Anyway.
It did.
So
it did change. Last week I apologized and said, I love you, Cheyenne, now. And I have to say, before... I liked Patrick, and I thought he was funny and clever, and I was like, oh, he's a little shit stirrer, but I like Patrick. This episode actually kind of changed me a little bit more. I was like, Patrick's nice, but I'm like, girl, I don't want to be with you at a dinner.
I just think it was a mistake. But I want to talk about...
We all make mistakes.
Mistakes? What are you doing your head at me for?
Sorry, if you're listening on the podcast, I'm mugging towards Jake.
I haven't made mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of them. One last week.
Alejandro, Pedro, Jorge again.
Pedro is never a mistake.
That's true.
So we noticed that a couple people are coming this time to stay at the house.
There's a lot of people,
which is always, it's like hotel gay.
Yeah. Yeah, they just
and it makes sense.
Can we ever just have a weekend where they just do things then?
Yeah. It makes perfect sense to invite your ex-boyfriend, who you still kind of have unresolved issues with.
Please.
Because you have to go to a showcase, which is everyone's favorite gay word. I'm going to come to my showcase.
We're going to talk about that
Want to
later.
come to my showcase? Let's talk about it now.
About the showcase. We're going to talk
about it right now, because I'm talking about the showcase.
Okay, sure.
So, Patrick has been writing country songs. Let's all take a moment to absorb that.
Because he's country strong.
He's country strong.
Hard to break.
And what else would McConaughey do? But I'm gonna write country songs, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's a little worried, and so he's like not up to it, and he does like, I play auditions for people, and he's like, oh wait, let me start again. Let's start that over.
I loved
Everybody.
it too, when he was rehearsing, and they just show close-ups of everyone in there, and then they cut to the dog.
There's like a dog's face who's like in a theater, and the dog's like,
everybody looked like they just like
smelled a bad fart. Everyone did.
Yeah, so they just
It's a gift. It's a gift of editing, really.
It really was a gift of editing.
Now, it's not that
it was like they all just saw Baywatch, and they're confused because
wow, you just did something very zeitgeisty in reviewing the movie.
Well, they should be very turned on and enjoying it, but
it's
they're just
supposedly a
why?
mess. Everybody,
They're like,
that movie is supposedly
why am I not enjoying this when
god
Zac Efron's
awful.
Shirtless?
Yeah, I would say
it got a rotten 13.
Yeah, I would say don't watch that movie, everybody.
Wonder Woman, however, is fantastic.
Okay,
I'm not just saying that, it's fantastic.
And strangely enough, he's not being paid to talk about it.
I'm not. I'm picky about that movie.
He's just
I wouldn't
crazy.
lie to you, bitches. It's good.
And
you
promised me
if you don't like
you promised me not a lot of Wonder Woman
tape.
stuff. You promised me not a lot of Wonder Woman stuff. Okay. So here we go. So
You
it's
promised
not
me
that
a lot of things.
it's not that Patrick's voice is bad. The song is okay.
It's
okay.
I
Now,
really
what
actually have-
bothers me is he's sitting down and singing it. Who does that?
It's not a very good diaphragm thing.
No.
You sit down maybe if you're playing a guitar.
And he's closing his eyes the whole time, like he's in some that. I'm sorry, not to get on my soapbox. That's been a big thing about American Idol recently, where everyone just closes their eyes and like feels it. You know what? You can't see your eyes. We can't see your soul. That's
I
it.
agree with that because I think that's a selfish way to sing. 'Cause
I
you're
agree.
in your head and not communicating with the
I
audience.
agree.
Also,
I
too,
agree.
I just wish they were in like a barn from Seven Brides from Seven Brothers.
You
But
know what? If
still,
they would have done that dance, I would have loved it.
that was amazing dance. But still,
sobbing. We're gonna move on from sobbing women.
Cabaret.
No, we can't do. You can't just say a random song.
Well, we should.
All right, I'm gonna.
No, I'm not done yet. You keep saying your points, and then you
know
don't let
why?
me say mine.
I'm just trying to keep this to 45 fucking minutes.
You know what? But I get to talk too.
Well, you just acted out at me. All right, keep
Really?
going.
I'm going to record
sit here
that
and drink.
and play that every time that you yell at me or call me a moron and say you just acted out at me.
I'm giving you the go ahead.
What I was going to say is, first of all, the sound was terrible. You couldn't even hear the song in
I
there.
agree.
And what else did I have saying?
That's the point. You don't know what you're trying to say.
No, what I was going to... It reminded that... Let's talk about that showcase a little bit. Not just Patrick, but
Showcase.
everybody else.
Everyone loves the showcase.
Just so you know, if somebody invites you to a showcase, everybody...
Don't go.
It's going to be horrible. It's going to be fucking
There's going to be a lot of other shit. There was like modern dance at this one.
And you know why I can say this?
Expressive modern dance with the hands.
Because we've been in showcases.
Yeah, I never invite anyone.
Yeah. I don't tell a soul.
I played for a lot of them, and you kind of just want to put your head between your legs and suck your own dick.
You know what? That's
If
actually
you could do that-
that's actually enjoyable. If you could.
You know what? If you can suck your own dick, leave a comment.
Sure. Jay-Z is going to be like, hey.
And we need photos because that's impressive.
I don't know we need that. But I was going to say, it really reminded me, remember that showcase talent show they did at the end of Dirty Dancing? Where they're just like, if you can
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. They give like a participation award for everybody. I have neighbors.
But that's what it reminded me of. It was just like,
It was bad.
I'm surprised somebody didn't bring their pig to this. Anyway, that's my feelings on the showcase
I
and
liked
bad
it when
sound.
Patrick finished it and he was getting emotional. And if you notice, though, and Cheyenne brought this up, he was emotional with a lot of whimpering, but there were no tears. And this just made me feel, as he said before, so sad.
Yeah, he literally said so
smiled.
sad. He smiled.
As we know,
That's what a psychopath does, yo.
sociopath.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said psychopath.
Sociopath.
And don't you happen to agree?
It's 12 a.m.
Anyway, when someone says I'm sad, by the way, that means they don't know how to tell you what they're feeling.
Well, I think that just wraps Patrick in a nutshell. I think what this fought for me for this episode when we're talking about Patrick is, I couldn't put my thing on it. My
couldn't
finger
put your
on
finger on your.
Yeah.
Couldn't put my finger in my ass.
I want to feel for him, but kind of like Cheyenne said again, Cheyenne, I'm agreeing with you so much of the time.
Me too.
It's just
you're saying what my brain's saying.
It's not even like full of bullshit as much as if there's no authenticity to what he's saying. Like I don't know who he is. Is he a country singer?
It's too self-aware for me.
Is he like a
really
wandering
self-aware
wallflower that's like traveling? Like what the fuck?
Cheyenne,
is he
come on
doing?
our show. We'll talk to you about it. It'll be nice. We promise.
It's true. I just feel like there's just not.
It's just hard for me to take anything he says when he's wearing a "Make America Gay Again" halter top.
I remember though, you used to say that a lot.
But no, it's just like it's a halter top, and he's like being really serious, and all I see is what looks like a bikini.
I think definitely Cheyenne maybe feels like he didn't get the limelight enough on this show. So this last couple of episodes,
I don't care.
He's wanting to bring in.
He's the voice of my reasoning. Also, I wrote down that Patrick cries like Julia Roberts in Still Magnolias when she goes, "Don't talk about me like I'm not here."
That was actually, she was better though.
She was, but I was like, don't talk about me like I'm not here when she has diabetes.
Well, I remember that movie. I enjoyed it.
You had so much to offer then.
I did. So,
wow.
Well,
You know what? Everybody just like, check that for like notable commentary.
you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about, this is a really gay comment. I was thinking about how much I used to love Julia Roberts' hair in that movie.
While I was talking, that was what he thought about. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your commentary. There was a great passage when McConaughey, a.k.a. Patrick, did his most McConaugheyest thing ever, and Justin came up to him and said, "Are you okay?" And he went, "It's just love, all right. It's just love. It's just love.
Just love.
It's just my McConaughey sounds like Bill Clinton still.
Or sucking dicks on a pier. That's not love.
Anyway." What's your next one?
I wanted to. So let's just get to it. Let's just get Patrick and Cheyenne.
No,
they're upset at one another
because
really,
Chris Salvatore, Patrick's ex, flirted supposedly. We don't know with Cheyenne's boyfriend at the time in a hot tub. What else do you do besides flirt with someone in a hot tub?
If you're sitting in a hot tub with someone, they might as well be inside you. I mean, come
I agree.
on. You know what?
I agree.
I've
never not flirted with someone in a hot tub.
That's fair. I've seen it.
I don't know if that's other people's experiences, but that's just me. Maybe not women, but
I think you still would probably a little
bit.
Even women.
Even women.
I think you would flirt with Miss Jane Hathaway for the Beverly
Hills.
Boss. Now,
Miss Jethro is coming to the office to sign some papers.
Now,
we've lost everybody. I'm sorry.
JZ's like, fuck this shit. So, okay.
You know what, JZ, read that because we deserve that.
So,
Chief,
I want to ask a little bit, like,
she was a dyke.
Take a temperature question of the
Rectally?
show. Yes.
Yeah.
So, the reason why Cheyenne got upset because Chris Salvatore was flirting with his man. Do you get jealous when you're dating someone? Do you get jealous if your partner is flirting with someone? Do you get more jealous with your boyfriend, or more upset with your boyfriend, or you get upset at the person flirting with them? Or do you get upset at all?
Both. I would say it depends on if the person knows that you have a boyfriend, that they're attached or not.
I mean,
I get more a little bit upset with my boyfriend.
I would be much more upset with my fucking boyfriend from
However, I understand it. I understand the feeling of you're pissing on my field. I get it. And also, though, at the same time, there's a rivalry in West Hollywood for territory.
Well, there's a rivalry for territory, and also too, and I don't think this was the main reason, but I don't think it helps that. Let's be honest. Chris Salvatore
is gorgeous.
He's like fucking Disney Prince gorgeous.
He's got those eyebrows and those kind of like crinkly eyes. Like that crinkly eyes like this. I'm doing it really badly because I don't have them.
Yeah, this is going to sound terrible, but I said during the episode, if he wasn't gay, he probably would be a big movie star. That's not your fault, Chris.
And I said,
that's fucking
it's
Hollywood.
True.
That's fucking Hollywood. So,
if he wasn't a big fag, he'd be a star.
Yeah, because he's a sweet guy. But I do think
because you know what, it doesn't matter if you can act or not. Sorry, sorry, actors.
Like, Brad Pitt, he
learned how to act.
But with Chris Salvatore, who I follow him on Instagram, I see he does this thing with
real pretty.
He's real pretty. I think he seems real nice, and but I think Cheyenne's a little jealous of that he's not the pretty one in the house.
I agree with that. I kind of want to just refer to the fact my next one is about the word amazing. That everyone says when they're asked about something like, how are you doing? This is amazing. Amazing.
Frappuccino is amazing.
You know what? It's not amazing because you're not losing. You're not like the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where you like evaporate. It's not amazing. It's impressive. Find a different word. Amazing is a generic word. Stop it! I'm making a point here.
I know. I'm giving you a soundtrack.
It's not a good soundtrack to what I'm saying. Amazing is a generic word you're using that means nothing. That's Jaws.
Dude, is that a better soundtrack?
Fuck off and
I'm
talk
just
about
trying
the
to-
next thing.
You know what?
Because obviously whatever I'm trying to say
I was
means
trying
nothing.
to emphasize your point. Sometimes you like it when I do background music for you.
No, that was distracting.
I
but-
let you do background music when I talk about my family.
Well, because that's absurd. So,
Well.
anyway, so we've got Chris Salvatore,
Uh-huh.
Patrick's ex. We've got Kyle, whose hair color isn't found in nature, as Cheyenne's boyfriend.
Who is in town. And I said, which character? He looks like that guy from Street Fighter.
Guile.
What did they say?
Guile.
When they would fight, they would go,
It was like Shadouken, and this is like suck my dick, suck my dick. That's what this Kyle would say. Not Guile, but Kyle, suck my dick. I thought Guile was hot.
funny.
He was the hottest Street Fighter.
he was hot. He was.
Although I was Chun-Li a lot.
The girl?
I was Chun-Li.
Oh, yeah, I
the
like how
Asian
she
girl.
would turn upside down and go, we're not being racist.
And
We're
it was
quoting this show.
super, super stereotyped.
It was. Did you ever see the movie? I never did.
I never did.
No, we should get high and watch that. I don't get high, but I probably would for
You know
that.
what? We'd have to get high to
We'd
watch
have
that
to
movie.
get high to watch that movie.
So, which is the first time we talked about drugs on this show? I'm sorry for dealing with this. I just want to say, so the dinner continues.
Yeah.
And
by the way, we got plenty of time.
we've gone an hour, haven't we?
Yes.
So anyway,
The dinner begins.
So the dinner begins. So Patrick randomly just brings up,
Randomly.
says, so you guys have a problem with each other. First of all, that's it's very shit stirring, and it's not even it's intentionally hurtful to Cheyenne, and it's also intentionally hurtful to his ex-boyfriend. And they're on the spot, and everyone on the table knows it, and it's gross. And everyone, when we were watching it, we were like, this is a fucking train wreck. And so Patrick, I don't know what to say. I did not like this, and I didn't like you encouraging it, because it only just brought up bad stuff from everybody.
You know, and I'm sure that I'm not the first guy to say this to you, Patrick, but you put a bad taste in my mouth.
You know, and I think my favorite quote came from Cheyenne this time, and he was talking about why he was there, and Cheyenne says, I came here to suck dick, but then I got a boyfriend. I'm sorry. That's like pure poetry. I threw back my head and knew that was the comment that I just was waiting for.
I like that you kissed your lips. That reminds
It's
me
like
of
how your aunt.
my Aunt Peggy, when she came to Los Angeles, to see me graduate, took them to this nice Cuban restaurant to have this nice meal, spent all this money for my Aunt Peggy, my Aunt Darla, my dad, and they all kind of like, Ropa Vieja, what is this? And they kind
Vieja.
of, they picked at it a little bit, and they said it was okay. Then the next day, my aunts wanted to go buy a purse in Santee Alley, and we stopped, and my Aunt Peggy said, what is that smell?
This is a long story.
And then we ended up getting a bacon-wrapped hot dog down on downtown
And
LA.
that was her favorite thing
And
she
she
ate.
took a bite of that, and she went, magnifique. Spent $300 on a dinner for nothing.
So, anyway, to continue it, so what we have, we wind up with.
Oh, wait, I wanted to say something about Patrick. Sorry, I got distracted by Aunt Peggy. That was just gross. But
It was gross.
It was gross, and like Patrick said later, that wasn't my intention.
Or I guess I
my
screwed
intention,
up.
yeah, my intention was to like make things right. No,
No,
Patrick,
it wasn't. I agree.
It wasn't.
It's not that.
And this is why Cheyenne is winning us over, is because Cheyenne
I love
can
you.
be
Come on our show.
Cheyenne can be a fucking dick about things, and like Jorge was trying to tell him, and
But
Cheyenne
at least
got
it comes
really
from a place of honesty.
well. It does, but as Jorge was trying to tell Cheyenne as well, again, it's not only just your intention, but it's how you express what you want to say. And Cheyenne's not always the best at expressing
He's
what he
not.
wants to
He
say.
acts out of
Because he's angry, and
anger.
as we saw last episode, he gets really riled when his emotions come up
Yep.
because he's used to being in control
Yep.
and smart. And so that really but whereas Patrick, girl, you're just at that moment you are full of bullshit. You're just lying to everybody.
I liked it when So when Chris Salvatore actually, they confront him about it, and he actually starts crying and says, this energy I'm sending out, and then they go outside, and thank God Chris Salvatore takes his cloth napkin with him. And can I just say, thank God for cloth napkins to wipe up those tears, because paper napkins would have been unsightly.
They would have
to wipe up tears.
They would have been.
So thank God for those like real kind of bronze cloth napkins.
And he is a better actor than Patrick because he knew how to cry.
Because he could cry.
He could cry.
And I wrote down, "Cry, girl, cry." I love it.
Get it out. Good for you, Chris Salvatore.
And I did like Justin saying, "Oh, it's dinner and a show."
Can we talk about?
Thanks, Justin.
Justin had the best mugging moments of
yes.
this episode. At one point,
hopefully we'll have a clip of this, although
I'll try to do it.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Justin's drinking wine with like two-handed gulp, just like, oh, God.
For those of you who remember our Browning Prince Charming, it was very much the Danique moment when Danique's like,
yes, he's like
drinking
the wine, and then at one point he was eating something, and with his fork he just kind of went.
Yeah, he
looked around, or he would be like this. Oh, Jesus.
He was the unsung hero of this episode.
He was expressing everything we were inside.
And so we're out on the porch still with Chris Salvatore and Patrick. And the best thing is not the best thing, but we could only sit there and just relish it. But when Chris Salvatore is crying, he's like, and all of this, and Mercury is in retrograde, and then we lost it. At that point,
we lost it
because everyone in LA. I don't know if
I would say that. I'm going to just own that I've said that.
But everyone's like, and all this, and Mercury is in retrograde because everyone's so hippy dippy here. That's what they say.
It's a big deal here, y'all.
It's not. It's
no. I mean, it's
a big deal supposedly everywhere.
It's a big deal to people here in LA. That's what I meant.
But I just love it. That was in that moment, and so LA. And thank you, Chris Salvatore, for bringing that LA moment to Fire Island.
It's true. I honestly am shocked that, with Cheyenne, we're starting to see more of him in the last episode. And honestly, we found out a lot about him in our interview with Justin.
Yeah.
And
Cheyenne, we need to follow up with that because I know you're.
You know what?
Here.
I reached out to Kassan, and I think that's, I've told you to reach out to Cheyenne. Okay. So if it doesn't happen, it's on you.
Well,
I
guess that's there.
That's there. But
ouch.
Anyway, what I was going to say is that, I think a little bit with Cheyenne.
It's 5 a.m.
With Cheyenne, we're only 32 minutes. We're fine. With Cheyenne, I think it's hard for him sometimes from being on TV because I think sometimes he really does want to express sometimes what he's wanting to say. But you can tell that he's a private person and doesn't want to let
see
that
out. I see that, yeah. And I think also he's, and this I said this during I think, and I think other people on the show are, but I think Cheyenne, we discounted him at the beginning. I think Cheyenne is intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a lot of great...
I think he is smarter than I thought, yes.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of great
He's just got hooker voice.
Yeah, he's got hooker voice. Sorry, honey, you talk like this.
You sound dumb, but you're not.
And...
I probably sound dumb, too.
Well,
not
a
accent. Word. Yeah, it's my accent.
Yeah. And your lisp. And your nasalness.
No, that just makes me sound gay.
And the roundness and your limiting vocabulary.
You're right. That the sound of your voice does it because people think you're a bitch, but it has nothing to do with your strident voice, does it?
You know what? I'll take it because you know what? Sometimes being a bitch is all a woman has to hold on to.
Boy, that is the truth. Okay.
People consider strong women bitches. And I'll take that I'm a strong woman.
Wow, I'm glad I'm sitting by Elizabeth Warren, apparently now.
You know what? I'd be fucking happy to be Elizabeth Warren.
I would too.
Fuck the patriarchy.
I'd name my dog Elizabeth Warren.
I'm naming my next dog Elizabeth Warren.
Well,
when I get a dog,
please do.
Lizzie.
I also want to say you commented, I'm going to read this quote, and you say, you know what that means? Because there was at one point in this show where Chris and Patrick were talking, and what I was going to talk about later, I've said that about Cheyenne being authentic. I just kind of Chris Salvatore seems like actually a pretty sensitive, nice
like a
guy.
Sensitive person.
I'm like, why the fuck are you dating Patrick? Because he seems really fake.
I like it how
is he
how he talks about
hung?
how we talked about he did say he was going to bed, but he did say, I learned so much dating you.
Yes, he said I've grown. No, he said I've grown so much since we broke up. And what does that mean?
That means I'm so glad we broke up.
It means I'm trying to be nice and say you were fucking crazy.
Because honestly, you may think you learned something in a relationship. Let's say you do. You just never phrase it that way.
When he said that, Jake went, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, if someone says, I learned so much from our relationship, that means, and you weren't the one, thank God.
I knew him so well.
And with that, chess reference.
Good, so good. So fine. Isn't it magic that he won't be mine?
That's all we were doing.
That's all I know.
Anyway, we sang that song and we don't know it.
We don't.
That is all I have to
sing that about a dildo.
About. We did talk about a dildo.
Well, shit is happening next week. They're giving us blue balls on Fire Island.
You guys, it's continued.
It's continued.
Like that's a blue ball.
That was a blue ball, and this was.
That's all I had. This was my favorite episode.
This was my favorite episode.
I had a lot to say.
We did have a lot to say.
It's 8:30 in the morning.
It's dawn.
So
the sun's
now,
about to come out, and someone's going to turn to ashes, so she has to get into her coffin ASAP. ASAP. She sucked the blood of some twink, and she's ready for a good slumber.
I need a good slumbers where I can suck the blood of another twink the next
tomorrow.
Night. It's so tasty.
If you would like to leave a comment and you are not JZ, then please.
You know what, JZ, bring it.
I'm kidding. JZ,
bring
I really
it.
Like I love the truth.
I love it.
We do get off topic.
We
I'm
like
sorry.
truth talk.
Yeah, we do.
You know what? If you don't like off topic, don't watch this show.
That's true. Don't watch our show. Then so you can watch the show on YouTube. You can listen to the podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, where you're listening to that.
Leave us a comment.
Leave us a
review, please.
TVTime.com. We've got to start thinking about what we're going to review next because we've only got one more episode.
If you have some suggestions, leave them in the comments.
Yes, I think people did last week. I should actually read them.
You know what?
I'm busy.
I'm going to bed.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Get out of my house.